Hello, it's Leslie Fightmaster. Welcome to today's class, which is a class for rock climbers. And this one was requested. So it was requested by Linda Conrad Kusmier. So this is for you, Linda. So start sitting up nice and tall. Just bring your palms together, close your eyes, take a few long breaths in and out through your nose if that's available. And then as you're breathing, take a moment to set your intention. We're going to start sitting in Virasana, and you can sit on a block, or you can sit your hips between your feet. If you don't have a block and your hips don't go between your feet, you can sit up on the heels. As you inhale, reach your arms up, interlacing the fingers. Exhale, turn your palms to face up toward the ceiling. Keep the ribs in, the front ribs in. So yeah, there's a tendency to pop them out. So draw them in, lengthen through the back body. And try and spin the triceps forward. We're going to work on the shoulders today, as well as creating some strength in the core muscles and also some hip flexibility. So we'll release that, roll the shoulders back a few times, widening the collarbones as they move. And then again, sweep the arms out, around, and up, interlace with the other pinky in front, and then face the palms up once again. And try to turn the pinky side of the hand toward the floor behind you slightly. Spin the triceps forward again. Pull the front ribs in, creating length through all four sides of your waist. So imagine you're creating length, especially in the upper back. And take one more breath here. And we'll release it. And then we'll come up onto the knees for a moment. Tuck your toes under and then sit back on your heels again. We want to create some flexibility in the toes and in the feet for climbing. So a little discomfort perhaps might be happening. Inhale, sweep the arms up. And then you're going to take your left hand on top of your right elbow is bent. And just work that hand down toward the center of the back. You might hear a little meowing here and there. That's Elmer saying hello. So come up off of your heels, release that. And then we'll tuck the toes under again. Sit back on the heels second time. Reach both arms up as you inhale. And now we'll bend the left elbow, taking the right hand on top of it and moving that left hand down toward the center of the back as you continue to pull your front ribs in. Looks like my husband is moving the camera a little bit. I apologize about that. Hopefully he'll get it soon. Take one more breath here. Try and spin that left tricep forward now. And then release. And then we'll just sit back in Virasana again on the block or on your heels. Take your right arm across your body. Take your left arm just above the elbow and just draw that right arm a little bit closer toward your chest. You might even move your right shoulder a bit as you do. Just to, again, get a nice little stretch in the shoulder. And then release. Left arm across. Take the right arm, hook it just above the elbow. And you might play around with moving that left shoulder a little bit to give yourself a nice stretch in the shoulder and the upper arm. Take one more breath and we'll release it. And then bring your hands a little in front of your shoulders and try and spin the triceps back, upper arms back, and then tuck the toes. Make your way into downward dog. Keep the knees bent to begin, and then start to straighten the right leg, keeping the left knee bent, and then switch. So I always like to start this way just to settle into the down dog so we can begin to stretch out the backs of the legs. Bend both knees now, stretch out the spine, and then start to reach the heels down as much as they will. They may never touch, it doesn't matter. Arms or shoulders distance apart, feet are hips width apart. And keep your arms and your ears in line with each other. Try to keep the lower belly drawing in, and then look up. Step your feet forward. Take an inhale, come halfway up, lengthen through the spine, widen through the collarbones. Exhale, fold forward, bending the knees a little if you need to. Press down through the feet, rise up, inhale, sweep the arms up, looking up. Exhale to Samasthiti, steady balance. Let's find our Tadasana at the front of the mat. So feet either hips width or together, but make sure the outer edges of your feet are parallel. And then pull up through the kneecaps. Inhale, reach up through the arms, ribs in. Exhale, hinge from the hips and fold, keeping your spine long. Inhale, lengthen halfway up. Exhale, step back into plank pose, top of a push-up. And the knees can come down for this one or not. Shift forward about an inch. Exhale, lower to your belly. Untuck your toes. Inhale, cobra. Pull the hands toward the feet. Make sure all 10 toes are pressing into the floor. And then exhale up to the knees. Tuck the toes again back into downward facing dog. So we're doing Surya Namaskar A to warm up, Sun Salutation A. This first one we just did is modified. You're welcome to stay with a modified version if that works better for you. Look forward, bend the knees, either stepping or hopping forward. Inhale, come halfway up, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold. If the legs are straight, hips right over heels. Inhale, press through the feet, stretch all the way up. Exhale, Samastitihi. And inhale again, sweep the arms out, around and up. Exhale, folding in. Inhale, come halfway up, find some length. Exhale, stepping to plank, or if you hop back, you'll land right in chaturanga. From plank, lower, shoulders no lower than elbows, knees up or down. Inhaling, upward dog, thighs and knees off the floor, or stick with cobra. And exhale, downward dog. Spread your fingers nice and wide here. Press down into the base of your fingers as your forearms lift up and away from the mat. Keep the lower belly lifted and firm the leg muscles. Weights pressing up and back. Look forward, step or hop the feet up. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold, crown of the head reaching down. Inhale, press down through the feet to rise up. Exhale, and back to where we started. Let's do it again. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, fold forward, hinging from the hips. Inhale, come halfway up, create some length. And exhale, step or float into Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, press through the hands and feet, roll the shoulder heads back. Exhale, back into downward facing dog. Spin the inner thighs back as the heels reach down. Nice steady breath and a nice steady gazing point, maybe between the knees or feet. And look up and come to plank pose, top of a push-up. So we're going to pause here for a breath or two. Lift the backs of your knees up, tailbones reaching to heels. Ideally, the hips and shoulders about in the same line. And press up between the shoulder blades. So keep pressing away from the floor as you breathe here. Crown of the head is reaching gently forward. Just another breath. And then step the feet together. Roll to the pinky toe side of your right foot and lift up the left arm. You could also take your right knee down to the floor if you wish. Now bring your left hip slightly forward so that your hips are level. Squeeze the legs gently, reach the tailbone toward the heels. Take one more long breath. And then back to plank. Feel free to take the knees down here. Or if you're keeping going, roll to the left side. Reach the right arm up. So reaching up through that right arm will help to create that length between the arms. Bring the top hip slightly forward. Tailbone reaches to heels. One more long breath here. And then we'll make our way back into plank pose through chaturanga or not. You can just hold plank. Inhaling upward dog or cobra. And then exhale, stretching back again to downward facing dog, all the way back. Take some long breaths. If you want to pause here, take a child's pose, please do. Otherwise, look forward, step or hop your feet up. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, press down through the feet. Sweep the arms up and exhale back to Samastitihi. Steady balance. Speaking of balance, I'm going to work a little bit on balance because that's good for climbing. So left foot is down and the right foot can go just above the ankle or really anywhere above or below the knee for tree pose. Drop the right hip down and try and pin the left hip in. If you're steady, reach the arms up. Find one spot to focus on. That will help with your concentration and with your balance. If you happen to come out, just come right back in. No big deal. A couple breaths here. Now point the right knee to the front, extend that right leg out, drop the outer right hip down, use your core strength to hold it, and then release. So we'll now do right foot down, pick up the left foot anywhere below the knee or above it, anywhere except for on the knee joint. And drop the left hip down, pin the right hip in. Inhale, reach the arms up when you're ready. Spinning the triceps forward. Again, find that nice, comfortable gazing point. That will help you with your balance. Nice concentration. And then pointing the knee forward, extend the leg. Drop the outer left hip down, pin the right hip in towards center. Keep the belly lifted and release it. Get back to the front of the mat and we'll inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, hinging forward from the hips. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step or float back, chaturanga. And then inhale, upward dog or cobra, always your choice. Exhale, make your way into down dog. This time we'll lift the right leg back and up as you inhale, and then bend the knee, open up the hip. Let's stretch the hip out a little bit. Keep the left heel pressing down. Try to press evenly through the arms and the shoulders here. Now square off the hips, look forward. Gently step the right foot between the hands, spin the back heel flat. Inhale, warrior two. Want to make sure we're lined up, front heel and back arch. The right knee over the ankle, pointed straight ahead. So now we're going to open up the hips a little bit, as well as this is a great pose to build overall strength. Drop the left arm reverse, stretch the side body. Let the shoulder blades release a little here. Inhale up, exhale. Right forearm to right thigh, reach your left arm up and then take it behind you, either to the low back or you might reach around and grab the right thigh. Roll the top shoulder back. Your right hand can stay or slide down to the ankle or floor. And keep the right knee over the ankle. And then we're rolling that top shoulder back, and that's giving us some more opening in the shoulder. And now look down, bring the hands to the floor, step back, either down dog to stay or plank to chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog, full inhale. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, the left leg lifts, lifted from the inner thigh, and then exhale, bend the knee and open up the hip. Keep the right heel pressing down, evenly press through the arms and shoulders. And check in with your breath, make sure it's steady. Square off the hips. And exhale, gently step it up right in the middle of the hands, spin the back heel flat. Inhale, warrior two. Make sure again that you are lined up heel to arch. The left knee's over the ankle and it points directly over the middle toes. Your back inner thigh lifts. Pull in through the belly. Lift and expand through the collarbones. Let your shoulder blades release toward the waist. Then drop the right arm reverse. Bend into your left knee a little bit more. Inhale up, lean forward, left forearm to left thigh, right arm up, and then right hand behind you to the low back or hook it onto the thigh. The left forearm can stay or slide the left hand down to the ankle or floor. Make sure to sink that back hip slightly forward to keep the knee over the ankle. Roll the top shoulder back as much as you can, again while stretching out your shoulders. And always keep the low belly engaged at least a little bit. Look back to the floor and bring the hands down, step back, down dog or plank to chaturanga on the exhale. Inhale, press through your hands and feet. Exhale, back into downward facing dog. And breathing here. Inhale, right leg lifts. And then exhale, step it up. Now this time walk your hands to your left and parallel your feet. Then bring your hands to your hips. And then reach back and interlace your fingers or hook your thumbs. Lengthen the spine, inhale, and then as you exhale, fold in any amount. So again, more shoulder stretching. Try to firm your outer hips in toward each other. The crown of the head is reaching down. It might touch, it might not. But be sure also to pull up on the kneecaps and firm the quadricep muscles. Inhale, squeeze the legs toward each other to come up. Then turn your right leg out again, back toes in, back to warrior two. Just for a breath, lift the chest. Soften the shoulder blades down toward the waist. Exhale, windmill the arms down. Step back to plank, chaturanga. Inhale, press up through the hands and feet. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale your left leg up. And exhale, step it through. Walk your hands to the right, parallel the feet. Toes will point in slightly toward each other, hands to hips. Then reach your arms out, interlace other pinky or thumb on top. First, lengthen out the spine as you exhale, then start to come forward. Gaze off the tip of the nose, just a nice soft gazing point. Crown of the head is reaching toward the floor, it doesn't have to touch. Now, if your weight is all in your heels, which it probably is, mine usually is if I'm not paying attention, shift it a little toward the balls of the feet, just so that it's more even overall. Squeeze the legs toward each other. Inhale, come up. Turn the left leg out, back toes in slightly, heel to arch, warrior two, knee over ankle. Just a breath or two here. And then windmill the arms down, step back to plank, exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, open the front of your body, and then just come to the knees. We're going to practice dolphin pose. Interlace your fingers, take your forearms to the mat. Make sure your elbows are right beneath the shoulders and no wider than the shoulders. Then tuck your toes, lift up and back for dolphin. This is a lovely pose to stretch the shoulders. So as you're pressing into your elbows and forearms, try and lift your shoulders up towards your waist. Draw the ribs and belly in. Firm the legs if you can straighten them. Now keep the arms where they are and just come forward, chest over wrists. Then inhale, back into dolphin. And then exhale, come forward. Use your belly muscles. Try to get your hips as low as your shoulders if you can. Inhale, press back. So we're not moving the feet at all. Take a breath here. Exhale, nice and low as you can. Inhale, lift, back into dolphin. Keep the belly lifted, firm the leg muscles. And then back into a dolphin plank variation. And then stretch back again, regular dolphin. Knees to the floor, and we'll take a little child's pose with the arms in front. Or we won't, and we'll just go right into down dog. But if you want a child's pose, push pause. Right leg up, inhale. As you exhale, bring it through for pigeon pose. A nice hip opening. So if your right hip is rolling down, put something under it like a blanket or a block. If it hurts your right knee at all, come onto your back. Take your right ankle just past your left knee for thread the needle instead. That right hip draws forward toward the front of the mat. If pigeon is fine, you can stick with it. Make sure the left toes are straight back behind you. Inhale to lengthen. You can come to the forearms, or you can lie all the way down or stay all the way up. And just breathe here into that right hip. Just imagine with every exhale, you're creating some more space in that hip. And check to see if there's any tension that has been created, maybe around the shoulders or in the jaw. And just notice the sensations that you are experiencing now. And then notice your reaction to them. Are you embracing it? Are you wanting to run away? Are you feeling any emotions? Sometimes hip stretching can bring up all kinds of things, so just notice. There's no right or wrong. Let's come on up and stretch that right leg back and just make a couple big circles with the right leg. One direction and then the other direction. And then set it down. Left leg lifts on the inhale. Exhale, bring it through for pigeon. And then again, check out the hips. Make sure you're not rolling off to the left side. If you are, pat it up so that the hips are even. Otherwise, that's not good for your knee. If this hurts your knee any amount, just even a little, come onto your back, take your left ankle just above your right knee, flexing the ankle, and hold on to the right leg. Keep the left hip drawing forward. So again, we'll keep the hips level here as well. So pigeon's okay for me. I'm going to come back into it. Make sure your right leg is extended straight back behind you. Take a lengthening inhale. You can stay up or exhale to the forearms or all the way down. And notice too, you might notice that one side, one hip, is tighter than the other. That's a pretty normal thing. Check in again, see if you've created any tension, especially in the neck, shoulders, jaw. Notice again the sensations, this time more on the left hip. And with every exhale, just imagine you're releasing a little more tension throughout the whole body. We'll just be here another breath or so. It's good to stay in this one a little bit longer. Hips can take a while to release. They need this time. So if you can hang with it, keep a little longer stretch. And if you want to push pause and stretch again each side or stretch the tighter side again, please do. Come on up. Tuck your back toes, sweep your left leg into the air, bend the knee, make some big circles one direction, and circle the other direction. And then setting that foot back down to the floor, stretching back, and then come back to plank. Exhale, lower to the floor, all the way down, untuck the toes, interlace the hands behind your back or hook the thumbs, pull in the belly, inhale, lift, Shalabhasana. Now try and gently press your pubic bone down into the floor to lengthen the tailbone toward the heels and give yourself more length in the lower back. And release and rest. And then one more time, interlace the other pinky on top and lift up, or the other thumb. Keep the back of the neck long instead of crunching the neck. Keep the inner thighs lifting. Take 2 long breaths here, and then release. And then hands by the ribs, press yourself up and back into a child's pose. And play around with the width of your knees. If you can take them wider, then you can get a little more stretch for your hips. And then we'll shift the hips off to one side so you can come to seated in Dandasana. Make sure to sit up nice and tall here, lifting the chest. If your lower back rounds or you just find it's hard to sit up really tall, then sit right on the edge of a blanket. And then that'll give your spine a little more lift so that you can create some more length. And then reach arms up, spinning triceps forward. Hinge from the hips, exhale. Inhale, chest lifts, and exhale, extend forward more with the chest. So instead of rounding the back, we'll keep as much length through the spine as we can. Keep the breath steady, steady. And the belly is reaching toward the thighs. Keep pulling your toes back. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, release. We'll come onto the back, rolling back. Draw the knees in. And then arms to a T. Drop your knees off to the left. You can shift the hips to the right a little. Knees to the left. You can also cross the right knee over the left knee, and that'll intensify your twist. I always love a nice little twist toward the end. I find it very relaxing. These twists are very good for our internal organs, well, mostly our digestive organs, and then also good for our spines to keep them lubricated. Inhale, center, hips just a little to the left, knees to the right. And again, if you want to cross left over right, feel free to do that. Look over the left shoulder. And now bring your knees to center. Let's take one little happy baby. Reach for the pinky toe sides of the feet, gently rocking side to side. As you're rocking, keep your tailbone lengthening toward the floor. See how much length you can create. And then we'll keep all of that length in the lower back as we make our way into Shavasana, our final resting pose. So if you have any discomfort in the back or your lower back just doesn't feel comfortable in this pose, put a blanket underneath your knees or bend your knees, feet onto the floor. Then arms a little bit away from the sides of your body, palms faced up, and let your feet flop open and just let yourself completely surrender. Completely let go of everything. Let go of the breath practice, let go of holding your body in any position. Just melt down into the floor and rest. So as you are resting here, I have our quote for the class. I got to thinking about rock climbing and how much courage you rock climbers must have to be able to do that. And so I found a quote that says, "If you don't challenge yourself, you will never realize what you can become." So good for you guys, challenging yourselves with climbing. I've done a little bit of climbing, but mostly indoor climbing at a climbing gym. Start to make some movements in your fingers and your toes, hands and feet. And stretch out through your arms and your legs. Big breaths. And bend the knees, roll yourself off to your right side, pausing a moment here for gratitude for all of our blessings. And then making your way up to a comfortable seated position. And sitting tall, bring the hands together in Anjali Mudra, Mudra of Reverence. Bring our hands to the forehead to remind us to have clear and loving thoughts. And the hands to the heart center, reminding us to have clear and loving intentions. And the hands to the mouth, reminding us to have clear and loving communications, sending out wonderful energy to all beings everywhere. Namaste. Thank you for joining today. I hope you enjoyed the class. And if you're not a rock climber, I hope you enjoyed the shoulder and the hip stretching. If you are not a member of the Fightmaster Yoga community, well, then push that button to subscribe. We definitely want you to join us. Visit fightmasteryoga.com for the class of the day. You can practice with us every single day, and it's a wonderful thing to do for yourself. We also created a t-shirt, our very first t-shirt, and you can go to teespring.com/fightmasteryoga. And it says love yourself, because it's so important. So we love ourselves, then we can definitely love others. So have a great day. Bye-bye.